Hi, this is Charles Elliott. I'm a lawyer in Alexandria, Louisiana, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the world of Trump. And oddly enough, with my little vignette I have here, I had about 1,200 views of the last one, which shocked me. And looking at the demographics, I think people are interested in what's going on with the president's race and with Donald Trump. So I'm just going to keep that going. This week in the world of Trump, the trial started in New York, and this is a case where we finally have an idea of what the prosecutor thinks he has to show. He's going to have to show that Donald Trump falsified business records, but that there was also some other crime that he committed. And we believe that crime to be a violation of a federal statute on campaign finance. And as we've already talked about, the federal courts and the state courts have different jurisdictions and different laws. So it's going to be very difficult for the prosecutor to prove that he violated a federal law, especially in light of the fact that the underlying New York statutes are misdemeanors and they're time barred. Time barred in the criminal context means there's only a certain amount of time you have to bring a claim. And in this case, the falsification of business records are misdemeanors. The only way the government could extend the time was to somehow mix those together with something that made it a felony, and that's what they've tried to do. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this case as the witnesses come to testify. They started with the owner of the National Enquirer, who had some sort of agreement with President Trump to tell him if somebody came to him with a salacious story about the president, he would pay them money and then ultimately not publish the story. They call it catch and kill, which sounds kind of terrible, but apparently it was common practice at the National Enquirer, not just with President Trump, with other people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, other celebrities. So this has been going on for a long time, and it wasn't something that was created just to do with the election. They're also calling another woman who was paid off, Karen McDougal, who was a Playboy centerfold. She got 150. Stormy Daniels only got 130. So I don't know whether the Playboy connection gets you more money, but they also killed that story. We'll continue to keep you posted on what's going on in that. But more importantly, there was an argument at the Supreme Court this week, which I would encourage all of you to listen to. It's a little long, it's a little tedious, it's a little lawyerish, but it's very interesting to hear the Supreme Court of the United States ask questions of the lawyers and to hear their answers. What the issue is there is presidential immunity. President Trump has argued that things that a president does while in office should be absolutely immune from lawsuits. And the reason for that is we don't want presidents having office, making decisions, and worried about being sued as soon as they get out of office. If you listen to the argument, you'll see that the Supreme Court was trying to find some sort of middle ground where there was no declaration of absolute immunity from prosecution for anything the president does. And you can tell the questioning was getting a little absurd on the Democrat side because they would ask him crazy things like, well, what if the president ordered a coup and ordered the killing of his political opponents? Obviously, that's never going to happen. Obviously, that's an absurd question. But if you're saying that there should be absolute immunity, you have to answer the question and say, well, he's absolutely immune from that. So I would encourage you to read up on what's going on in these cases, particularly YouTube. I've gotten to where I just can't watch any of the network news channels on either side. And so if you find a variety of commentators on YouTube that you follow, you'll get the information that you need unfiltered, and you'll be much better off in making your decision when you go to vote. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, please send them to me. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, and I hope you have a good week.